And we have the Republicans, which are the carrots. And for the Democrats, we have the peas. And representing the judiciary branch, we have the corn, main staple of the United States. We have so much corn here, it's crazy. And we have the Supreme Court, which you gotta elect somebody pretty darn good for the Supreme Court, Mr. President. And it's very important for you to have a very good cabinet, because without a good cabinet, you don't have the support, and you need these people to watch your back. And those slimy devils that you so love, the media. And we like some media, other media we're not so fond of. Very important, these lobbyists. They bind it all together, they make it all happy. So you gotta keep these lobbyists on your side, because they're hanging out in the clubs making all the decisions when you're not looking, and when nobody's looking, because all the decisions are made behind closed doors. And then we got other parties. We have the Tea Party here, represented by the lima beans. Now, I don't know how much you might like lima beans, but I don't know if we're going to put them in the pot pie, but we'll see. Alright, so now we're going to start cutting up the Congress. So, it could stink, it could hurt, but we're going to show you the right way so that we won't get hurt. So make sure you take the biggest knife you got, and let's cut up the Congress. So, take that off of there. We'll make this easy as possible. My own special technique. To get these nice and diced, because this is a major component to the political pot pie that we're creating or demonstrating. Alright, so what do we got in there? What do we got in there? Got a mutant onion. That could be what happens with Congress. So let's Alright, now let's cut it up. What is this? Bad congressman. Gotta get him out of there. Which is going to be part of your job also. Oh, yeah, and this is the painful part where I really can't see. But you gotta keep your eyes open, Mr. President. If you don't keep your eyes open and watch what's going on, they will slip right by you. So, alright. Now we're going to break out the president. Don't zoom in on me because I'm going blind here with these onions. Alright. Now we'll clean up for a moment. I'll be back. Alright, so now we have to get the most important part, which is the chicken, which could be represented by the president. So, or the chicken will represent the president. So let's get this out here. Oh yeah, that's hot. So here we have a nice chicken. Golden brown, and you see all that juice? We're gonna need that juice because that's gonna make our roux, and it's just gonna be delish. So let's cut it up. Now we're gonna want some nice big pieces here. So, and then we're gonna cube it up. Start with the white meat, and personally, I dig white meat. So we're gonna pull this all apart, and we're gonna take the skins off because we're gonna need that for the grease portion, because we need that to make our roux. So I'm just going to pull this apart. Alright, it's nice and warm. We're going to stick with that for this particular pot pie. I'm going to leave that for later. Let's put this on the board and we'll slice it up. I'm going to take the skin off because I'm going to use that for the fat also. So look at this beautiful, beautiful piece of chicken here. That makes for a beautiful president. No fat. Right, Mr. Trump? No fat. We don't want fat in our government. And you seem to keep yourself in shape. So, yes, I'm using my wonderful Porsche knife and I'm cutting on ceramic. Isn't that just lovely? But this I do for you, Mr. President. Or soon to be president. I know you're going to win. If you don't win, I'm leaving the country. And if you do lose, I know deep down in your heart you're going to start your own country. That's right, you heard it here. You start your own country after this, I'm going with you. Because this one's going down. And there's not going to be any room for any entrepreneurs or anybody. So, alright, so now we've got everybody prepared, ready to go. And now let's show you how it's going to look. So now we've got our cabinet, and we're going to put them, let's go right here. The big scheme of things. Okay? And we've got the tea party. I'm not really sure where to put them, but let's put them hanging out on the grass over here. There we go. And then of course we have our Republicans, represented by the carrots. And we'll put them on this staircase over here. And we'll take the Democrats, and we'll put them on the other staircase over here. Okay. Now, we got the cabinet, the Tea Party, Congress. We need Congress. We need a pin for Congress. Well, these are white. I prefer a white pin, but we're going to have to go with a black pin for Congress. For the onions. Let's put them here. We're all building this political pot pie. So, let's get a little bit of potatoes, because we need some potatoes here. White pin for the potatoes. And well, let's put the potato right here. Okay. And the corn. Can't forget corn. Our staple of the country, which is the judiciary. Let's put them over here. Okay. So these are our ingredients for the government, and you're going to have to manage all this. So remember, we got the media, that's going to blend it all together. We got the lobbyists, which are going to have to be, they'll bind it all together. Oh, and we forgot something very important, which was the cream. We need some heavy cream in here to kind of sweeten it up and give it some good body and some good, just that creaminess, because you need that. Give it good mouthfeel, you know? And you want to feel good about the government. So you didn't know this, but yes, we have met quite a few times, Mr. Trump. Once you sat next to me. That's right, you sat next to me at the Trump suite for the US Open. I think that was back in '99. Agassi was playing, and Agassi and who else? It was Agassi and who was the other player? You know tennis, my cameraman. But yeah, you sat right next to me with a cup of peanuts, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to go over to see that game. So, and we were right next to McEnroe, who is in the press booth. So that's right. So we met there. We met on the Pacific Princess, which was the Trump cruise. We met there. And then also, which is really cool, you and I met on the at a David Jeremiah concert. That's right. I was very surprised to see you there. That was very cool. So, and for those who don't know who David Jeremiah is, well, you know what? Google him and you'll find out. Especially for you Christians out there, because David Jeremiah wrote his own Bible. So, not his own Bible, but he has the David Jeremiah Bible. And Mr. Trump was there on the when it was being debuted, the first edition. So that's a pretty good piece of information for all you evangelicals. So, and Christians, which are all cool. So, all right, let's go to start cooking this in the pot. So let's go over to the stove, get it all heated up. There we go. All right, so now what we did, we're trying to boil off some of the fat because we need some extra fat. So we added some vegetable broth, and we've got it cooking with the leftovers of the chicken. So we're gonna strain off the juice, and we'll put it back into the pot. Put it back into here. So we got all that. That's going to be our roux. So, all right. Don't mind my stove. It's a little. It could use a scrubbing, but that's okay. It's still pretty darn clean. So now we're going to take our onions, and we're going to put our onions into the roux, which are the Congress. So we want to get the Congress all stewed. Stew the Congress. So let's break out a... Oh, and then we got our chicken there, so that's our president. So we forgot to put him on the board. So let's take Mr. President and put him on the board. All right, Mr. President, this is you, and we're gonna put you right here at the top, right underneath the flag. Voila, there you go. So now we have our completed political agenda. All right, we'll say that, political agenda. All right, let's get back over to the cooking. We're gonna bring this to a boil, and that'll stew these up nicely. Then we're gonna drain it off again. All right, so now the Congress is nicely stewed in with the broth and the fat, and we're gonna drain this off one more time. Separate the Congress. Separate the Congress. Now that we just might have to do one day. Let's get rid of this chicken. And back it goes into the melting pot, where we're going to take the media, and we're going to put the media in there, which is our butter. That's right, our butter from Sparta. We're going to use half a stick of butter, and we're going to put it into the broth because we need a lot of fat. Alright, so we've got the butter, the onions, the butter, chicken. It smells very nice. Let's put a little salt and pepper in here, just to cook it in a little bit. A little freshly ground. Now remember, Mr. President, We always want it to be freshly ground. Okay, salt, pepper. And we are boiled. All right, so let's lower that heat a little bit and start adding in the lobbyists, who are gonna make this all nice and thick. So we're gonna slowly whisk this. So let me grab a whisk. A little bit of your time. We're going to use about 6 tablespoons of flour here, and to generate our roux. It's starting to thicken up nicely already. So, you know, when you take fat, when you take flour, you get a roux. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Turn our heat down a little bit. It's getting a little too hot. And we need one more ingredient that we forgot about. And we need one more ingredient that we have to put in here. And that is a little heavy cream, which is going to give us that really silky smoothness. Alright. Mix that in there. Oh, look at how yummy thick that is. We came up shy on the 6 tablespoons. But there we go. Oh, look at that. It's like magic. It's just magic. It's got a beautiful consistency. Those lobbyists. If the lobbyists are doing what they're supposed to do and they do it properly, it's a beautiful thing. So you got to make friends with the lobbyists and keep them happy. And they will keep you happy. So, alright, so now let's put in our... What? Alright, so let's put back our onions. And we're going to add in all the rest of our ingredients. And we take our Supreme Court. And we're going to cut it up into nice little pieces that we can that kind of balance out the rest of the pie. Got to be careful with these knives. I remember on one of my shows, Wine and Dine with Mastro, where food and magic meet. I'm your host, Tom Mastriani. So, which I think I did forget to introduce myself, didn't I? Well, I've been doing this cooking show thing for many, many years, and it was very fun. Except I gained too much weight and I drank too much wine. No, actually, it was all good. See my wonderful wine rack? Still fully stocked. Not that I drink any of that. That's just there for display. So is my set bread, and I know some of my fans, they'll be like, is that the same bread? That's right, it's the same set bread right there from 1,000 years ago. Go ahead, Sammy, zoom in on the set bread because that's important. That bread is many years old. And it still looks good. Alright, so let's go over there and let's start adding in these things. And I'm going to omit the lima beans. Okay. Now we're gonna put. Okay, now we're gonna start adding in everybody. First, the Democrats. And we're gonna get them in there. I'd say that's about a half a cup of each. Just in case you want to reproduce this there, Mr. Trump, you'll have all the ingredients the way they should be. Then we have your cabinet, which choose wisely, sir. Which I'm sure you will. And you probably have them all picked already. We've got the judiciary branch, which shows our corn. And last but not least, we have our Republicans. Yay, go Republicans. You know what? I'm so disappointed with the Republicans, actually. I am a Republican. But all the backstabbing that's going on in the party, it's just not right. And some of those guys from Texas should really be beaten for what they did. All right, now we're going to throw in our potatoes, which is our Supreme Court. And last but not least, the chicken. My cameraman just dipped into the chicken, but it's okay. We'll forgive him, because it's all about forgiveness. Now look at these wonderful pieces of chicken. Nice, good size. We're not skimping on the chicken. And I know, Mr. Trump, you will not be skimping, because you're not a skimping kind of person. You're not going to skimp on the country. You're not going to skimp on a meal. And I really love that you had a really nice, what was it? A great sandwich. You had this thing, it looked like a giant donut, but it was a sandwich. And it had everything in it. It had pesto, and it was just wonderful. And that was in the suite at, where was it? At the US Open, Arthur Ashe. So, all right, so now we've got this all in here. We're going to heat it up again. And then we're going to put it into our pot pie. All right, Mr. Trump, this is the really important part right here. This is where it all comes together. So this, my friend, is puff pastry. And this is the only way to make the perfect political pot pie. So it's light and fluffy, it's airy, it's crispy, it is just downright delicious. And it's also the most important part. And I'll explain that to you in a moment. So we're going to take our ramekin, and I guess we could do this, cut around it. Let's see, which knife do we want to choose? Let's use this one. Once again, the Porsche knife. Alright. I'm just gonna cut it around. Here we go. So now we're gonna get our pot pie mix. Fill the ramekin with this wonderful mixture, and that should just about do it. A couple extra pieces just. All right, now, Mr. Trump, you have the entire country here that you're running, and this right here is the most important part of the whole thing. This is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Got that? One nation under God. This represents God covering over everything. You keep that in mind, everything will be great. Okay? You don't have to worry about a thing. You keep him number one, and you'll see what happens. So into the oven we go. $350. Let's wait a little while. Actually, I think I have to raise that temperature. I think I'll bring it up to about 425. So. 425. We are good to go. All right. So give us about 15-20 minutes, and I will show you the end result. All right. So now, pot pies have been cooking. The political pot pies have been cooking for a while. Breaking out my trusty mitts. I don't want anybody making fun of me. No. Mitts are cool. Gotta have them. Oh! Alright, what do we got here? Let's look in there. I want to get close. Oh, we have some ridiculously yummy looking things here. We must extract them. Well, let's get this one out of here. This one. Look at that. See, Mr. Trump, if you don't have your if you don't win this election and you start your own country, that's what it's going to look like. That. Well, here we are. We have our political pot pie and his friends. So we made a couple different ones. We used a few different size ramekins. We actually used a bowl in this case. And look at it. It's toasty. It's beautiful. So now let's crack one open and taste it. So, knife. We'll take that puff pastry. It just crumbles. So let's. It's beautiful. It's creamy. Get in here, Sam. Look at how flaky and wonderful that is. Look at that. White, delicious. That's the way it should look. Let's get in here. Well, looks like we got some Democrats coming out of there. And the president. So I'm okay. President, Democrats. It's all a beautiful thing. Harmoniously blended and just steaming with goodness. So here's to you, Mr. Trump. Be a good president. I know you're going to be a good president. So thank you for running. You know, it's a big step you took. You know, going from running your companies and all that. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I have my own business, and you know, after a while, but you're in a good position, you know, and you saw what was going on. And I know you said something years ago where you didn't like the way things were going. So thank you for running, and I know you'll do a good job. Make this country great again. Thank you. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is slamming. Slamming good. Remember, one nation, under God. All right. I'm Tom Mastriani with Wine and Dine with Mastro with Food and Magic Meat, saying see you next time after the election. Cheers.